Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Final Fantasy X-2. So, we have just finished in Besaid, and we're going to hop over to Bevelle because there's some hidden cutscenes that we actually only unlock once we've gone to the two other hotspots. So even though we've been in Bevelle, we put down our comm sphere. Gipple, who went missing from the machine faction, is in Bevelle. So we are literally going to run down along the high bridge, run into the main building. I'm just cutting out a lot because it's literally all very boring and samey. But to save time, this is some like speedrunner strats, even though like I've done 60 plus hours of grinding to get all these dress spheres leveled up. But yeah, what I'm finding is that like the rest of this chapter is going to be super quick purely because we've all the dress spheres leveled. We don't need to necessarily fight anything until we're going through the like bestiary collections. So let's just get to chapter 5 ASAP. But if you come up to the upper level, you get a little gift by just talking to people. Some people still love the High Summoner, which is nice. And then if you talk or interact rather with this lift, it will actually bring you straight to the top of the Cloister of Trials, which is super nice. So just click there and it says main lift set to direct mode. So now when you go and reprogram the lift to bring you back down, when you hop onto that, instead of bringing you to the start of the Chamber of the Fayth or the Cloister of the Trials, it will actually bring you to the top level where you can just enter the Chamber of the Fayth, which is just super handy. So we descend down, and because we've changed the direction to direct, it will actually just land us over here, and we can just run over to the Chamber of the Fayth really, really quickly, which is super duper nice of them to do. And of course, if you want to change it back, that'll just bring you to the temple steps then. But we just want to go to the Chamber of the Fayth, where we get another cutscene with Gipple. And we just have to follow after him.
Was that Gipple? What's he doing here?
So basically you can collect some nice chocobo wings, but it's just entering the Chamber of the Fayth, jumping down the hole, and getting all the way back to the lovely corridor that leads us further into the Bevelle Underground. You can collect treasure chests, like this one's kind of useful because it has ethers in it. But other than that, we can kind of just hop, skip and jump our way through here because really we're just on a quest to get to the end so we can get a really interesting and pretty lore heavy cutscene, if I'm honest. Like, nobody kind of knows where any of the leaders are, and if you just go straight to Djose, it's like a massive mystery. You don't have a clue where they are, how or if they know each other, and like this cutscene just gives a lot, and it's totally missable because like why would you go to Bevelle? You went there potentially beforehand. You've just been here at the end of chapter 2. There's actually no reason to come along here, so it's just a bit mean and stingy. It's like, why make things so obtuse and difficult to like locate, you know? But we can just turbo along. We don't need to get the Dark Knight, but if you for some reason didn't follow the guide, you can potentially get it here. But I mean, you're following the guide hopefully in sequence. So we don't need to like worry about missing anything because you've already gotten it in chapter 2. And for some reason, all these different puzzly things are like completely deactivated. But when we get upstairs, the puzzle for unlocking Dark Knight is still activated. So like, don't see why that wasn't just there ready for us to go deeper in. But before you go anywhere, don't do what I've done. Save there and make sure you have gun mages on all of your girls at every single garment grid they're on, or horrible things like this happen where I end up fighting a boss monster. This boss monster has a blue bullet we can learn, and Yuna doesn't have gun mage, so she can't learn it. And I was devastated. Granted, we can get it later.
Hey,
but
you're late.
It would have been nice to have it all at the same time.
If you were on time, then I'd really start to worry.
But the three boyos know each other, so that's quite fascinating. Old pals.
So much for being missing.
Sure you should be here? The Youth League and New Yevon are crumbling without you guys to hold them together.
You expect too much.
Learn from us. So why we here?
There's something I needed to be sure of. Vegnagun is gone.
Listen to you. Vegnagun is gone. Are you trying to tell us that since that thing left on its own, Yevon's not to blame?
It's the truth. The thing's more sensitive than its size would lead one to believe. It detects hostility, and in an instant springs to life. Should one even think of harming it, it awakens like a frightened child.
Ha! You did your homework.
I've had 2 years.
Wait, so you're saying that Vegnagun woke up because someone was trying to destroy it? Huh. Who?
Who indeed? I'm a little confused. You came to claim it for yourself, didn't you? But Vegnagun awoke. Why? Because deep down you hated it. Did you come here to use it, or destroy it? Well?
Both. You probably think that's impossible. You've always been too naive to see. I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Then I hope you don't expect me to trust you either. I believed in you once. When we were training for the Crimson Squad, I thought I'd never find a better friend. But you betrayed that. 2 years ago.
Barreleye!
Why did you shoot? Why did you shoot Gipple and me? We were friends, and you shot us in the back. Answer me!
Just calm down. Nuge, apologize already. That's enough. Don't push me. If this is what it takes.
This has turned out perfectly. Wouldn't you agree? Yes, I shot you. You were easy targets. You and Pain.
You shot Pain too?
Why?
Answer me!
I made him do it. He was too weak to resist me.
Nuge?
I don't expect you to present any more of a challenge. Not now. See, I found that the mind that hates and despairs is the easiest to break.
2 years ago, it was the same with you, Nuge.
Seeking your own death? Now you can have it.
Wait!
Stop!
Hey, get out of here!
So now Pain bursts in to rescue her pals. But in that moment, we get a Marlboro of all things. Now you can learn the Bad Breath Blue Bullet. But as you can see, I'm devastated Yuna doesn't have Gun Mage. So should have swapped Gunner for Gun Mage, because literally at this point in time it is useless. So we need to put some damage on the Marlboro or it will not do Bad Breath. But just be patient, even attack it and heal it with a high potion like we did with Barrel Eye. Eventually it will use the ability Bad Breath. And as you can see, my two girls learn it, and unfortunately Yuna missed out on that chance. But we just basically kill it with a good Firaga, and quite simply, job done. But oh my goodness, so Barrel Eye
Where'd they go?
is now possessed
I saw Barrel Eye escape.
by some sort
Nuge
of
and Gipple probably chased after him.
energy. Nuge was
So you
possessed by
knew
the
all
same
three of
energy.
them.
Long ago.
Crazy.
Yeah, but Nuge, he, ugh.
Yes, he shot us. It was an accident. At least that's how I see it.
Why didn't you tell us?
You never asked.
I'm asking now. You don't want to tell us.
Bingo.
Ugh.
You want to know?
Yeah, but forcing you to tell isn't any better. We'll wait until you're ready.
No pressure, huh?
So make sure you pick that up. That is pretty important. And then we're gonna quickly go back to the airship and listen, I suppose.
I know everything.
This is rough.
Isn't Team 3 getting a little carried away? But this was supposed to be a drill.
Al Bhed? Why are you trying out for the Crimson Squad?
Hey, the Al Bhed want to protect Spirit too. I wanted to be a Crusader, but apparently we're, not eligible. Besides, no one can handle one of these babies like an Al Bhed can.
Machina, even if the Maester's okay with it, what about everyone else?
Shut up. We'll get reported.
My name's Barrel Eye. I'm from Bevelle. You?
I've seen this 100 times. Yep, a lot of people'd sooner shoot an Al Bhed than tell them their name.
It's Nuge.
The Nuge?
Hey, Nuge, my name is Gipple.
And you?
So, after the Crusader or Crimson Squad sphere, we can now basically go to Djose. We finished everything in chapter 3. And like, it's been pretty awesome, to be honest. Like, we've been fighting Dark Aeons. Like, the story's kind of picked up. There's like a bit of intrigue. Vegnagun's missing, and all these like all this other chaos like happening in the world. It's pretty cool.
He says Gibble's not back yet.
Wonder if he's still with Nuge and Barrel-Eye.
Probably.
So
Translation?
again, a super quick mission. Like, if you just did all the
That's our
hotspots,
cue.
you'd be finished this entire chapter in like one episode. So it's literally go to the temple, rush to the cloister, beat the Dark Aeon, chapter finished, you know? Like, it was doing all the Mihan High Road stuff, all the sphere breaking, all the, you know, Cavern of the Stolen Fayth stuff. Like, all these little extra hurdles were things that like extended the length of chapter 3. But like, what's funny here is that like, they're still talking about digging, but this one guy who like always wants to dig, he's like, oh, I'm not leaving without permission to dig. But now it's gotten awfully quiet. Like, what's happening out there? I just was curious if they had any change in dialogue or whatever, which they do, which is quite funny. So, running in to stop this strange disturbance with the Machina, Shinra puts down a comm sphere. Because of course he does. And, like, yeah, we can put together an awful lot of the Al Bhed, but it's still very broken at the moment. So, this guy is basically holding them within the chamber. When you think about, like, all the extra Machina that, like, got pushed into, like, all the other temples, they actually left themselves fairly, like, defenseless, which is pretty bad. I know now that M is L because that obviously was trying to say Isle. We don't stand a chance. We can jump over these Machina now to like get to lovely Stamina Spring. But again, this guy's like, can't hold them off with this lousy knife any longer. It's like, dude, why don't you have a gun? But we get up here and like the entryway is barred by the altars in the back, and if you select the wrong altar you will end up in a fight. But basically the altar you want to go to is this one on the far left in the corner, and it's bam, finitoed. Just run into the next room and we get to fight, you guessed it, another Dark Aeon, this time Dark Ixion, merged with Al Bhed Machina. Riku, like, we've seen about 6 of them at this stage, girl. Like, come on.
Merge with
Get
Al
with the
Bhed
program.
Machina. Isn't that what they said?
We still don't know that. We still don't know that girl.
This can't be happening.
So we're going to basically get some dodge, and we're going to try and move back Pain to her Berserker. And then if you get Pain on Berserk, she'll be able to attack really, really quickly. And what's super fun with that is that when the dice is calculating, which like takes a while, you can actually get 2 free Berserker clicks in, which is quite nice. And we're just going to keep ourselves topped up with our stash of Mega Potions. Units are being a little low, but we also have like a texture issue problem. I don't know why the dice aren't loading the correct textures. And then I have a bit of a nightmare situation with the cutscene starting into chapter 4, so I have to like restart the whole computer, but I do apologize for the situation with the textures for the dice. It doesn't really affect anything else, thank God. But I was kind of like, oh, why are they like so dark? Oh, it's like really interesting. Are they like some sort of different texture because the Aeon fight? And it's like, no, the textures just aren't loading. Oopsies. And in fairness, the dice do like a fair amount of damage. You're basically getting 1,000 damage off. Every time you get a good number of hits. And with that, Ixion is down for the count. And now we're gonna check out the Chamber of the Fayth, and 3 guesses for what's inside the Chamber of the Fayth. And if you guessed a giant hole, you'd be correct. Mission complete. So we get some experience. Yuna gets a little bonus experience because she's still in Lady Luck. We get the Unwavering Guard. And we just get to, like, find another hole.
Oh, another hole. I wonder what's down there.
Go find out.
No way!
The hole we found was so deep. It was as though all the secrets in the world might be hidden in its depths. But something told me to stay away. These secrets are not for me to know.
But alas, Yuna,
Get back!
the Machina side of the Aeon explodes, and literally sends Yuna careening into the hole. Wherever it leads, nobody knows. But it's actually like a lovely FMV cutscene, so I'm gonna just stay quiet for that.
It's so bright.
Can you hear me?
Yes?
You can hear me.
I can't see you. Where are you?
finally found you.
Is that really you?
It is me. Shuyin. I've waited so long. Len.
But I'm not Len.
Len. We disappeared together, but when I awoke, I was alone. I looked for you for so long. While I wandered, I realized something. Spira hasn't really changed at all. Everyone's still fighting over nothing, still dying like they used to. 1,000 years have passed, and they can't leave the hatred behind. I'm through waiting. I'll fix it. This world continues to fail us, and what's worse, I failed to protect you. Vegnagun will make that all go away. And we'll fade again, together. Help me do it. Len.
Don't touch me. Whose feelings are these? Len's? Mine?
So,
Open your eyes!
someone that looks like Tidus, called Shuyin, is in love with a girl called Len, that he thinks is Yuna. And they're both having a little hug, sharing some feelings. And now, possessed Barreleye is being all sketchy and possessed. Gipple and Nude are here to, like, save the day.
The end is not far now.
Well, I know there's only 2 chapters left, Barreleye, but like, you know, there's still a lot of content in the game. Let's not talk about the end game so soon.
Give this to Pain. It was all I was able to find.
Yeah, give her this one too.
So we get 2 new
Our wills.
crimson spheres.
He's kidding. Just make sure Pain gets him, alright?
How do you know her?
The 4 of us go way back.
Don't go!
Like, you've been
It's under
collecting a
control.
good amount of the
Take care of
crimson
things
spheres. Like,
topside.
I'm pretty sure we have a vibe that, like, they're all connected, but, like, it's now very obvious that, like, you know, all 4 of them are connected once upon a time in the
I
Crimson
didn't know
Squad.
what had happened.
But
Everywhere
here,
I
it's
looked,
super,
I found
super
only
important
questions.
to just be
But more
hitting
than
the
anything,
X button, like whatever button you hit to
I'm
like
just
open, talk,
Angry.
select your commands.
One thing after
It's
another,
C on
and
the
I'm
key-
already
or it's-
confused
yeah, C
to
on the
begin
keyboard
with. Hey! Where
for a
am
computer.
I?
Like X on PlayStation, A on Xbox, so you get a little moment to run around with Yuna, and then when she's like, oh, I'm all alone, you have to press X, and then just keep pressing X. Like, I just am constantly like tapping the C on my keyboard as I'm running around. And then if you're tapping it reasonably consistently, you'll get basically a whistle in the middle of the cutscene, and this whistle is needed for 100% completion. So Yuna's gonna scream, we're gonna be tapping, tappy, tap, 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 tap. Tap now, because once we hear say I'm all alone, that's the cue
I'm
to
all
like
alone.
trigger a whistle. And then like that sweet music
Where are you?
plays. Tap it again, just keep tapping. And once you're tapping it reasonably consistently, you'll like
Wait!
extend this cutscene. Yuna will run after the spectral Tidus, and so long as you keep pressing the C button, she'll basically run up this magical pathway out of the abyss into the light of day, arriving mysteriously at the bottom of the Bevelle Underground. They love this area. Like, they make you come back here so often. They were like, look at the new assets we made. Look at them. They're amazing.
Come in, Yuna.
Yeah.
Yuna.
That's pretty much going to be
reporting in.
the end of this chapter. So I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks so much.